Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to QGTV Ramadan 2011 chapter study. Today we're nearly at the end, it's day 27 and we will be doing chapter 55 Ar-Rahman and chapter 56 Al-Waqiyah. I believe that these two chapters are part of a chapter block ranging from chapter Qaf, which is chapter 50, all the way to chapter Waqiyah, which is chapter 56. So it's 7 chapters, and we can see a gradual turning of the themes. So the themes are being rotated as we read from chapter to chapter, and this rotation is very crucial for us to thoroughly absorb the ideas which are being presented. There are various angles which we need to consider. So when we read, try to oscillate from chapter 50 to 56, then 56 back to 50, and then you'll probably get the idea. This is just an overview, but I think as we go along, inshallah, we will try to expound verse by verse or passage by passage in each chapter. So we begin with chapter 55, Ar-Rahman. And for most cultural Muslims, we know the opening, which is Ar-Rahman Allama al-Quran. Ar-Rahman is the attribute of Allah, which shows nurturance and power as well. He has taught the Quran. So this is talking about a particular recitation, a particular compilation of verses which addresses a question. خلق الإنسان. He has evolved al-insan. Al-insan is the state of mankind which is weak, malleable. So with this Quran, Allah evolves insan. Allamahul bayan. And through this, He teaches, He informs insan how to become pronounced. Bayan is something clear. So the insan becomes prominent through this Quran. Then it says, Ash-shamsu wal-qamaru bi-husban. So the sun and the moon, they are in calculated or computed orbits, if you like. So here we need to ask ourselves, why are the sun and the moon being mentioned here? Now, I believe that these natural metaphors are essential for us to understand the human world. So Ash-shams and Al-Qamar, the sun and the moon, they are entities which influence society. So the sun or Shams shines the light and the moon reflects that light, and from there we get light on earth. And then it says in verse 6, وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ. So from this, we can see the najm, the ones which are leading society, the ones which are guiding society, and ash-shajara, which are perhaps the arguments or perhaps the genealogies which societies have, they are bowing. So that's essentially the beginning of Ar-Rahman. Then Allah talks about Al-Mizan, the balance, and how we do not transgress this balance. Then this continues up to verse 13, which then begins the first of the 30 occurrences of this verse, which says, فَبِأَيِّ أَلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. And so in which of your Lord's blessings will you two deny? Now, denial here is not like saying, well, no, I don't believe God blesses us. No. Denial is about stopping something from becoming sidq or truth. That's the opposite of the word kazab, to kaziban. The opposite is the word sidq, which means to confirm, to make something happen. So, فَبِأَيِّ أَلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ is about stopping the blessings of Allah from being realized. So, we have from verse 1 to verse 12, Allah talks about the Quran, the evolution of man, and then the sun and the moon symbolizing the various aspects of society and the blessings which we get. Then Allah asks us, how do we deny this? Why do we deny this? So then this chapter continues on a variety of topics, but it's always peppering, punctuating rather these expositions with فَبِأَيِّ أَلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. After verse 13 we have خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سَلْسَالٍ كَالْفَخَّارِ. So he has created insan from a clay-like pottery. وَخَلَقَ الْجَنَّةَ مِنْ مَرْجِعٍ مِنْ نَارٍ. And he has created the jinn free from fire, fire free from smoke. Sorry. So basically, this is the two aspects of man, the insan and the jan, and these two aspects interact with one another to form society. Then it asks us again, فَبِأَيِّ أَلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, and which of your Lord's blessings will you stop from happening? Then it talks about the two mashriqain and the two maghribain, which I interpret to be the two ways of achieving prominence and the two ways of being achieving lowness or falling into lowness. So there you go. The chapter continues. It gives short and sharp expositions of what we get from Allah. Then it talks. It gives you that verse again. فَبِأَيِّ أَلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. And that continues all the way up to verse 78. And verse 78, the closing of this chapter, actually helps to sum up what exactly it's all about. It says, تَبَارَكَ أَسْمُ رَبِّكَ. So blessed is the name of your Lord, ذِي الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. The one who possesses Jalal. Jalal from the word Tajalli means to make prominent, to be shining forth. And Wal Ikram, the one which is honorable or gives honor. So this is essentially what it's about. The Ar-Rahman Allama al-Quran aspect in the beginning relates back to this. And throughout the chapter we have an exposition of what it means to be bayan in the sight of Allah. Bayan means pronounced or prominent in the sight of Allah. So there we have it. This is the unfortunately short exposition of Surah Ar-Rahman. And now we will move on to Al-Waqi'ah.